Hey, 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 you know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia, and we're here to present to you a oldie but a goodie. We're actually bringing back a video segment that we did in the past with a few other different artists. It's called Transition of the Arts. And as you can see, we're in our virtual setting today, and we have a special guest. It's somebody that you've seen here before. Don't act like you don't know this guy. Uh, this guy right here definitely inspires me, definitely pushes me when I have my little low points where I'm like, I don't know if I could proceed forward. He's definitely one of them guys that always comes in at the right time and just gives you that encouragement. And also, he's the proud author. I'll show you a couple examples here. We got Pleasure Party, and we also have Willows. He's got a plethora more books that he's wrote. So please welcome author and novelist Hugh O. Smith. Hugh, what's going on, my man?
Zeus, my brother, how you feeling? It's so good to see you, man. Thank you for having me again.
It's always a treat when we get to talk, man. I know you're busy. You're kind of like myself, kind of like an octopus. You got your hands all over the place. It's always beautiful to see like-minded people doing great things with their artistry, with their business. They're moving up, taking their talents and their abilities to another level. So I'm just grateful that I was able to squeeze you in and we could get a few minutes here to discuss. Just to give you a reminder for you viewers out there, the theme behind this particular segment is me and Hugh will be discussing and centering it around how one transitions from one form of artistry into another to market their brand and promote their products. So this is really tailor made for you viewers out there that are marketing and endorsing your brand on your own. You're not necessarily going through a advertising agency or some kind of marketing firm to do the marketing and do the different promotional aspects when it comes to your business and artistry. This is for simply if you're doing this on your own, which since COVID, it seems like more people are more emboldened now to go ahead and try different things on their own, especially with the advancement of technology. So we're just going to get right into it and discuss different things, layer it out a little bit as far as what we do on our end when it comes to marketing and promoting. So for you, how about you explain to the
Workout
viewers
paused.
your process in developing a marketing plan for your books and the difficulties associated with forming a strategy?
Oh man, we could talk about that for a month. Um, right? So when I'm super
Yeah.
successful at it, well, I'll let you know. But so so the first thing is you have to know your audience. So you have to know your music, your book, your art, or poetry, whatever it is, appeals to, I don't know, women between the ages of 18 and 55 or whatever the case may be. And there's a bunch of different ways, excuse me, for you to know that. And then what platform is your art best represented on? So is it on Facebook? Is your audience there? Is it Instagram? Is it Pinterest, which is very underrated for marketing, by the way? Is it TikTok?
Yeah,
Eh,
I agree.
yeah, and then you tailor your content towards whatever, towards your audience and towards the platform. And so I was doing that for a while, and then over the summer I decided to experiment with just ads, and Amazon ads, excuse me, for the most part, which has been okay for me, doing all right. And now I'm making content to start this in this coming week, actually, a whole new, launching a whole new bunch of marketing that you're going to see coming out. But those are the basic variables that you need to think about when you're marketing.
Really good point. And from my perspective, when it comes to this, elaborating on what essentials with me dealing with clients, what they prefer when creating media projects. One thing I noticed too with dealing with clients is that they don't technically have a marketing plan in
Right.
place. So they really don't have an understanding. So going back to what you're saying, not just having an understanding of their market and what platforms would be best beneficial to them, but they don't have an overall synopsis of exactly
Right.
how they want to go about
Yeah.
marketing,
Yeah.
right? So it's not just the demographics and understanding your audience. It's kind of like you have to create this outline
Yeah.
for yourself so you know exactly what you're trying to do. You might already have a good, for example, a good social media presence, but people still are not quite clear what your artistry is or what your business
Right.
is. So maybe you need to concentrate more on that and not so much put yourself in the forefront. So now people get an understanding of what your business is, the services provided. If you are an author, a musician, some form of artist, in turn, people could get um, the understanding of what you're doing and start appreciating and viewing the different things that you have uh, provided through the social media. And let's not underestimate the importance of a website as well. People tend to overlook that as well. Just not having a website, they concentrate so much on just social media. And I'm not saying social media is not important, but having a website, at least what I talk to my clients, it's very essential and vital. What do you think, Hugh?
I agree with you to an extent. It is important. It depends if you're like an indie author like me, because I look at my website. Excuse me. Well, I'll put it like this: if my website was a child, I'd be in jail for neglect. Um, because
Hey, that's a hell of an analogy.
right, because it's there. Excuse me, but but I, for better or worse, I tend to concentrate more on the social media. Again, now, if you're talking about landing pages, those have been very successful to me. So when I'm doing like an ad
Yeah.
campaign, a landing page is huge because you want to capture email addresses to put on your mailing list. So that's a whole other thing that we could talk about for another week. But yeah, landing pages are really, really good for me. Now, I know you deal with a lot of corporate clients. Corporate clients are very, very attached to their web page, their websites, and because of their size, like I guess, and depends on what they do. Their clients are used to their web presence, so I completely understand that. Um, but for somebody like me, the website is good to have, but not as important as the social media presence and maybe your landing page to capture email addresses.
That's a great point. I hope you viewers caught in on that. What Hugh was saying, it's great if you're just doing it on your own.
Hmm.
Social media might be more beneficial versus someone who has a business or they're providing products or
Right.
services. They might be inclined to utilize the website more. One thing I do tell clients though that helping them develop different types of content for their website, they usually don't have like hyperlinks that will lead them to their social media. So a lot of times they have the thought process, well, I have a website for people to check out. That should be good enough. But unfortunately, there's some people out there that's not big on checking out
Right.
websites. They're more inclined to just being on social media since that's their mean of communication to talk to different other people
Right.
as well. That's where they check out like the different IG reels, YouTube shorts, TikToks. Obviously, that's the wave right now.
Yeah,
So
the
that's a
website.
great
Yeah,
point.
websites don't feed our dopamine like social
Yeah.
media does. Um, It's
Yeah.
just if they want to look up something, hey, let me look at this particular, I don't know, phone, and they might go on the website to see the phone, or but then when they want to buy, I would imagine they go to social media, maybe they go to Reddit to see if people like the phone, or or social media to see, unboxing of the phones, and what people, reviews of the phones, things like that.
Good point. Oh, and just one last thing, you were mentioning like different social media sites. One more that I would add to that that's underrated, like how you were talking about
Hmm.
Pinterest. I would add Tumblr.
Really?
Tumblr has actually been working very well for myself.
Really?
I can't speak for everybody else, but it actually worked out very well for myself, networking with different people and like building an audience. Um, it's done wonders for me. So I would add that in there, the Tumblr.
Really?
Um, and I would recommend that for anyone if you haven't set up a profile on there, please do. The audience on there and the different type of people that you engage with on there, it's pretty amazing to me. And they got all kinds of different backgrounds, different type of artistry. It's amazing people on there doing amazing things that you can check out on there.
Okay.
And it has a great forum to open up that dialogue. So you can like bounce ideas off of each other. So for you guys out there, I definitely recommend that as well. Along with Pinterest, I totally agree that's underrated. Definitely use that as well. But I will also recommend Tumblr as well if you haven't checked
What do
that
you
out
think
yet.
of this new one,
So Hugh, let's move
Lemon
on.
8? What do you think of the new one, Lemon 8?
Lemon 8.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar
it's a
with that.
TikTok. I just found out about it like 2 weeks ago. It's made by the same people who make TikTok, and it's supposedly their answer to Pinterest. So yeah, lemon,
What?
Lemon number 8. Yeah, check it out.
Oh, I
Yeah,
definitely
I don't
will.
really have an opinion of it yet,
Even
but
with the TikTok
yeah.
thing, even with the TikTok thing, I'm kind of just new to that. People were been on me for a while about utilizing TikTok. I'm more of a IG, YouTube type of guy.
Mhm.
Uh, but man, TikTok done some wonders for me as well. I can see really why people gravitate toward that. Um, it's definitely a great platform for networking as well and just getting some content out there. And then they have all these different like
Yeah,
tools that you can utilize associated with the app
yeah.
to kind of like better your content or at least put it in a more innovative way. So yeah, TikTok is definitely I'm glad that I'm on that as well. So Hugh, as we move on making these different transitions, how about you speak on the resources you utilize to develop your marketing strategies, both in person and in the digital world?
Okay, so um most of my so as you know, as you've said, I'm an author, therefore I'm antisocial. So as
I'm with you there.
right, as you and I discussed when we were at the book fair, um and
Yeah.
I like book fairs as a social thing, but for me personally, I don't think they do much to move the needle. Um, so far,
Yeah, I totally
so
agree.
far, right? They have the huge ones like the Miami Book Fair, and they have one in Vegas that I've never been to, and I understand those are awesome.
Right.
But the smaller regional ones, they're good to meet your audience and to sell a couple of books. So in person, when I do things like that, I'll try to have a screen with the videos going, and where people can see what the book is about, some visuals to catch the eye. Some book fairs it's not possible to have that, but where possible I do that. Um, since
Mhm.
I really focus on ebooks, selling my ebooks, and there's a number of reasons for that, as opposed to hard copies. I really concentrate on digital world. So there's tons of resources. Like if you do Amazon ads. You know, Amazon has a lot of resources for you on how to know your audience, what kind of content works best. You know, as you probably know, like if you're making images or things like that, what sizes they should be, you know. Um, the one resource that
Mhm.
I recommend, man, and I'm telling you, if they, I don't want, I shouldn't say this too loud, but if they charge 3 times more, I'd still pay it, is Canva. Canva is invaluable. Um, uh, Picture, images, video, sound, putting everything together, templates. It's one of, you know, 3 or 4 websites I'm on every single day, and I use them every single day. Um, there's also websites if you're at the stage that you have a mailing list. One that's invaluable to me is called Book Funnel. So, for example, Zeus, if you're interested in my book, I can send you a free copy of a book, but in return, you have to give me your email address. And Book Funnel is a way I can deliver that book to you, and you can read it, and I get your email address in return. Book Funnel is awesome, very, very affordable. Um, Later on, we'll talk about AI, so I'll save that. But there's a bunch of AI resources that I can point you to that are great. Um, but yeah, oh, and YouTube is amazing, just really amazing. It's a free resource, and anything you want to learn. Now we're talking about marketing our products, but let me tell you something. I am not the handiest guy in the world, Zeus, but I put in a new sump pump in my house last year using YouTube. Okay. All
Mhm.
right.
Yeah,
And
I'm the same
right.
here.
I was very proud of myself for doing that. So, you know, marketing is there's a gentleman, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Geoghan. And he's from, I think it's Mark is his first name. Don't quote me on that though. David, Geoga, and he's got a free course on book marketing on YouTube that's phenomenal. You know, so if this is marketing is what you really want to do, to learn it, it's little to no cost to learn. Um, there's plenty of free resources that are available to you, free and low cost available to you.
That's a good point. And just for you viewers out there, just elaborating a little bit more on what Hugh was saying, it's about doing your research. You know, if you're not going to utilize a business like Olympian Multimedia to go ahead and help you out and strategize exactly how you want to go about with your marketing, to Hugh's point, there's so many free, let me repeat, free resources online. If you just do the research, all you have to do is just set up a profile, usually. That's it. You know what I
Right,
mean? And then from there, again, certain applications or programs that you're going to be using, some of these resources you find online, it might be limited to a certain extent of what is entailed in that package for being free. But a lot of times you look into it a little bit deeper. Their subscription fees are not like astronomical. A lot of them are affordable. That can be within a reasonable budget. And then it allows you to do all these different things. I know in my setting with Olympian, going to your point as well of creating templates, that's a big thing that we do here. You know, just for the client to get an understanding of exactly what they want to do. Usually, most of the people I deal with, they literally have no clue. You know, they're still kind of like not really tech savvy or really understanding the social media world and how beneficial it can be. So it's almost like I got to take baby steps with them.
right.
You know what I mean? And it starts with just creating a very thorough outline and also through creating like these templates. And for those who are aspiring to do like a media business of some sort, You definitely have to give yourself some options depending on the type of clients that you have. Just a quick point when it comes to videos, two main programs that I use is Filmora and I also use DaVinci Resolve. The reason I utilize both, DaVinci Resolve gives you more of that very professional, cutting edge type of film footage when you go to editing. You know, you're looking more like for people who are looking to do like short films or maybe some extended footage, such as like a music video or something to that nature, maybe like a very in depth promo video. DaVinci Resolve tends to be what I would use
Okay.
because it actually gives them exactly within the setting, the filtering, so forth and so on, all the editing that will make it look professional. Versus Filmora, I have certain clients that are looking for very extensive editing. You know, a lot of fluff, a lot of flair, a lot of effects to kind of like, stand out within the footage. I would use Filmora. So that's a big thing too when it comes to strategizing. I think you would agree,
Yeah.
Hugh, is about creating options for yourself. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, 100%. Options in your plan, options in what you're using, options in what platform you're going to do. That's why, to your point, it's good to have, like, you just illustrated great about those two applications that do the same thing but in different ways or add their own different touches. It's the same way. Like, for example, I'll give you an example, Zeus. When I first started this a couple of years ago, like really trying to make content, one problem that I had was like, say I make something for Instagram, right? Like, and then I try to put it on Facebook, but it didn't look right because the sizes are different, as you know. So I'm like, I was using Photoshop and Illustrator, and I'm okay with those things. I'm not awesome. I'm not an expert. So that's when I found Canva, and then with speaking of options, one click, you just resize it to whatever size you want. Maybe move something here, move your text, move something here and there, but boom, within seconds you can do it. So it's
Mhm.
good to find applications that you can use that can give you those options.
That's even a bigger point. So not just giving you options as far as like utilizing different apps, but then pay attention to the apps or programs that you are using to see within themselves, like you were talking about with Canva, allowing you to do like videos, you
Right.
could do photos, you could do different types of graphics, that you could post on your social media platforms. Like definitely don't sell yourself short. You know what I mean? Like do your research, really look to find what is best equipped to handle whatever it is you're trying to do when it comes to your
Right.
marketing. Um, I think some people get a little bit overwhelmed because they'll look at something and be like, it's all over the place. There's so many different things. I don't know where to start. Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? That's why it always goes back to like utilizing that marketing plan, getting an understanding, giving yourself some type of direction on exactly what you're trying to do. And then utilizing these different apps and resources that you find. Um, it's almost like a one-stop shop.
Yeah,
Going back to your point with Canva, it's like a one-stop shop for
it
everything.
sure is.
So even if you didn't want to branch out and use different things, there's so much stuff that you could do just
Yeah,
utilizing
that's
this.
a great starter app. If all you want to do or all you know how to do is just like images right now, and you play with them, you edit them, take out a background, you put in a different background. Nothing's wrong with that. And then, in a few months, you're like, all right, I'm good at this. I might want to delve into video, or I want to make a video. You shoot a video, you upload it, you play with it a little bit. Even if it's when I was playing with it, I uploaded a video of my son and I played with it, and put him in different backgrounds, took out the background, made his hair go on fire. You know what I mean? He was a little baby. He was like a video of
Mhm,
him with his hair on fire, just playing with it, having fun with it. And
mhm,
you were right. I had a meeting yesterday with a friend of mine who runs a group. If you're a writer, please check out this group. It's a meetup group called Shut Up and Write, and we were talking about that, and I was kind of helping her to navigate these things, and she's a little overwhelmed. But I said it like I just said: start small, and most of all, man, have fun with it, because when you're having fun, then it brings out your creativity, and you're using that side of your brain instead of being all stressed out and I can't, which I was stressed out when I started these things. And like I said before a few minutes ago, I'm not a handy guy, so I felt like looking at it, I felt like somebody took apart a car engine and told me to put it back together again. You know what I mean? And I was just like,
mm.
what is this? Like, when you look at
Yeah, it could be like that.
Illustrator or something like that, like there's something everywhere.
Like what?
Yeah,
You're in
in
another
another
world.
world,
But
right? And there's all these panels and all these buttons and all these menus. But like when you just have fun with it, learn how to do one thing, you know, just one thing and play with that, then move on to something else and move on to something else. And pretty soon, man, you're producing videos.
great point. And just to elaborate on that, that's kind of the mindset that I have with the clients that I deal with. A lot of different elements of media coincide with each other, but we can layer it and just kind of take baby
Right,
steps, right? So if you wanted to do photos, at some point in time, those photos will be developed or transitioned to creating some type of video, right? But let's just concentrate on the photo content first, and then that will give us a leeway or some ideas generated to lead us on how we're going to format the video. And then if you're going to do a video of some sort, you're probably going to want some music in the background, some kind of musical content to a certain degree. So now we're layering that. Once we start developing the video, you start understanding like, oh, okay, well, I would like to have this kind of music production, just to create like an ambience in the background when it comes to the footage. So now we got an understanding of how the music what kind of music that you want to put in there. If you want it more orchestrated or if you want it to meet the times or meet the trends, like what you hear on the radio. So definitely, if you're working in a singular capacity or if you're working within a business confines for you viewers out there, uh, just take in that you don't have to do everything at once. Like to Hugh's point, have fun with it at
right.
first. It doesn't cut you short because you're just clicking on buttons. You know what I mean? Just to figure out what this does or what this does. Just make a note of it. And as you progress further and you use it more, it'll probably become second nature to you,
And
over
once
time.
again, YouTube is your friend, man. YouTube is your friend.
YouTube is your
Yeah.
friend. YouTube is definitely my friend. I definitely utilize YouTube a lot. Um, oh, and one last thing to go along with what Hugh was saying about Canva and how great of an app. I will also add Adobe Express
Oh yeah.
along there as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So Adobe Express is very, very good as well. Has a lot of different functionalities that is associated with that. And right with Canva, it's very affordable. It's very budget friendly, as it were. So definitely check either or out.
What I took
You might be able to utilize
Yeah.
both. You never know.
Yeah. What I told a friend of mine, I told him about Adobe Express, and there's another one, Firefly. Adobe Firefly, that makes content
Firefly, yeah.
great,
Mhm.
great, great app. Really, really useful.
Very useful.
Meet Veronica. Someone took something from her that was never theirs to take. It didn't break her. She simply made sure it could never happen again. Then she ran. Veronica fled 3,000 miles to a new life, only to commit a new sin, falling for a married man, a man attached to a psychopath. Love makes you careless. The affair turned into vows. She had a husband who loved her, money that shielded her, a house that kept her secrets. But the fairy tale had an expiration date. Her husband died, leaving her wealth, a son, and a target on her back. The ex-wife inherited nothing, only more reason to hate. Time passed. Veronica thought she was safe. She should have known better. Fate dragged them together. Now Veronica is at the mercy of a woman powered by rage, consumed by revenge, and all it will take is one bullet. Pleasure Party by Hugh O. Smith. For readers who crave complicated women and messy lives. Perfect for fans of Verity and The Last Mrs. Parrish. Get it now on Amazon.
So, Hugh, we're at the point of this segment where I know this is definitely going to get you all charged up because me and you done talked about it a lot extensively. And obviously, if you guys out there don't know the wave that is called AI, then you must have been under a rock for a very long time because it's definitely has made its presence known very strong, especially in the last 2 or 3 years. So, you explain how AI can be a useful resource for branding
For
initiatives.
branding, Zeus AI is has revolutionized what we do. So I tell indie authors, right, don't pay for indie authors, not businesses and corporations, different story. But indie authors who are just getting started, utilize AI to the fullest. Excuse me. So the thing I would say to do first, as far as branding is concerned, if you were like me, you have no idea on how to market yourself, right? For example, um, as I said before, I'm a author, I'm a writer, I'm very antisocial. Okay, actually enjoy talking to you. You're my friend. We're friends, and I enjoy this conversation. But normally, this is something that I would do, but I wouldn't like super enjoy it, right? Um, you can use AI to help you to kind of circumvent that, and by that I mean you go in and if you're using ChatGPT, for example, or the one that I just started using a week or two ago, that's real, their new version is amazing, Gemini, is you tell it who you are, you tell it what you're trying to accomplish, give it examples of, if you can, of your work, and then tell it, hey, help me brand myself, help me find for this genre, for this type of book that I write. But make sure you tell it all about yourself. The more information, the better. And then I would go in and say, okay, what more do you need to know about me? And it'll give you questions, and you answer those questions, and then you ask it about branding, and what, based on my books and what I write for my covers, for example, what color scheme do you think I should use? What fonts do you think I should use? For my social media, is there a mood or I should try to attain? You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean, right? Is it like depending on my
Mm-hmm.
genre, is it an upbeat mood? If I write horror, it's a scary mood, right? So the fonts, the
Mm-hmm.
colors, the lighting would be different on your images, for example. And so even if you don't take what AI is good for, even if you don't take everything it says and you do it, it gives you a jumping off point. It gives you something to think about, to go, oh, okay. This is because for me, I didn't even know what I should be thinking about. Um, and then I figured it out, through reading and like you said, research. But then when AI came on the scene, I was able to further dive down into what I needed to do and what my branding should be, and then fine tune it um, using AI. So it's a huge, huge, huge help.
Indeed. Um, I'm going to be talking more so from a business standpoint. AI is definitely useful. Yes, guys, Olympian Multimedia does utilize AI to a certain extent, um, mostly for productivity and to improve workflow processes, right? To get a better understanding of our projects, our tasks, and then assign it in a way and structure it in a way where we can get it done in a timely fashion, right? So, a AI program that we use that I recommend is called ClickUp. If you're looking to better organize your different projects, I definitely recommend that. It allows you to create your own what are called AI agents,
Mm,
basically, and you basically can assign each agent a different aspect of your project. And then in turn, it creates like these nice workflow processes. It gives you recommendations as far as what you should be concentrating on versus we can hold off on that for a little while. Let's just put all our efforts onto this first, since this is the main component to the project, right? So we definitely utilize that, and that's been a definite big benefit for us here at Olympian. We also use a program or AI app called Meshy. So it's MESHY.ai. And what's great about that is that we create media content. You guys know that with Olympian. Sometimes we come across a project that it's a little bit not so much out of our realm, but we're having a hard time kind of creating a template for it. Like, for example, if we're doing some kind of imagery within the video that the client wants something specific, right? And we're having a hard time kind of drawing it, right? We're kind of having a hard time trying to construct it. Well, we go to Meshy. Meshy does a great job of creating this template. For example, if you just want, even with just a photo, let's say within your photo, you wanted some kind of fancy monument or some kind of unique building structure. Well, Meshy will
mm,
create that for you. You just have to be in detail on what you want. And then it gives you a 3D rendering of exactly what you put as far as your ideas or whatever, as far as what you want specifically for like your photo or for your video. And from there, you could kind of fill in the blanks, right? And add the different things that you want to make it the way you want to. So I'm not saying AI is not beneficial and there's not a market for it. It can't help you in one way, shape, or form. I still have my concerns about it though, you know, just from a personal standpoint and from a business standpoint. I'll just take the business one real quick. Being that I'm in the business of creating media content, AI allows you to create media content on the fly. So you're getting very quick results, right? So a lot of people are more emboldened now to do things on their own. They may not necessarily go to a
right.
business to go ahead and create these different types of content for them. It'd just be easier to just use this application, right? It's quick, it's easy, it's straightforward. You can literally just sync that or link it right to your social media platforms versus having to go through the whole process of going through a business and kind of develop it that way, right? And then since AI is coming on so fast, right? And it's just everything is utilizing AI. My concern is that some people may not have the capacity, the capability, or may not even have it within their capital or their budget to go ahead and utilize these different things, right? So again, that will put them in the back burner a little bit,
Mm,
right? And then from a personal standpoint, there's an app out there. I forgot to jot it down in my notes, but there's an app out there that it's probably like a few of them now, or an AI app that allows you to write the entire book. Like it literally writes the whole book for you. So from a personal standpoint, like me being an author, it's kind of like if I read somebody's work, do I have to get to the point where I'm kind of questioning, like, is this really dumb? Like,
Right.
this is really their work, or did AI create this? You know what I mean? So I want to enjoy your work, but even as I read it and I'm trying to get a glimpse, get an understanding of your book, it kind of seems and feels like it was AI generated versus somebody who actually did it on their own. So then that teeters on the thing of, could you appreciate someone's art truly, right? If it was AI, totally AI generated, versus if they did some things on their own. What do
Yeah,
you think?
wow, that's a lot. So as far as people not, I don't think anybody, if you have a computer and you have most people, not everybody, most people, most of us have access to some kind of device and Wi-Fi, right? If you have that, then you don't have an excuse because there are tons of free stuff. Google Labs, you can make free AI images and learn how to do it there. You can. Google uh, Chat GPT has a free version. Gemini has a free version. A lot of Canva has a free version. A lot of this stuff, and I used the free versions when I was first playing around. You know, so there's a lot of free versions. And once again, YouTube is your friend. You know, if you want to learn AI, just start watching some, especially AI marketing. Gary Vaynerchuk is excellent. Like he has tons of videos out there. And once the algorithm sees you watching those, it'll just deliver more. You know, Zeus, it'll deliver more and more of these things to you. And every day
Yeah.
you'll get an education. So it's out there. You know, if you don't take advantage of it, I feel like it's on you. You know, that part of it, it's on you. I tell
Mhm.
people all the time. Now, there's some um professions like your graphic artists and stuff. Like I'm making stuff now that I used to think about paying a graphic artist to do, right? But the thing is, if you're a graphic artist already, the stuff you produce with AI is going to be so much better than it was, and that I probably don't have the capability to do. So you're going to have to figure out a way to market yourself, um, and let people know that your art is now better, um, now that you have AI resources. You know what I mean? Um, it's either that or just lay down
Yeah.
and go the way of the dodo. You don't really have a choice. You got to learn how to do it
Yeah.
better. Um, as far as the writing is concerned, um, AI thus far is terrible at writing original stuff. Terrible. It's just awful. Um, don't the grammar is great. It doesn't have typos, but it doesn't have a soul. You know, right now, a year from now, we might be, it might be a different story. Yeah,
Talking about
yeah.
something else.
But for now,
Yeah.
you can tell. I mean, at least I can tell. I can tell. I mean, if you put out content with AI, so people think that you can say you can you can go to AI and put in a prompt like write me a excuse me 80,000 word novel about two guys talking on a podcast, and then the lightning in the background comes alive and creatures come out of it. You know what I mean? And it'll write you something, but it won't be 80,000 words. And eventually it will deteriorate. It'll be terrible, you know. But if you say, okay, here's my novel, and I haven't tried this, I've seen that there are courses out there for this. If you say, help me outline my novel that's about this, and this, and this, with this, and this character, that this is where I think it might be useful because you're putting in your original work, your words, your content, and just asking AI to help you shape it. not write it for you, but help you. Because I know for me, outlines were very hard. It took a lot of time. So I'll do an outline now, right? And I'll just ask the AI to make more sense, be more cohesive, But the words are all mine, the ideas are all mine, content is all mine. It's just helping me to make more sense of it. That's all.
But you see how I love how you're describing it. Like you're describing AI as your
It
own
is. That's
personal
what, yeah.
assistant.
It's what you make of
Essentially.
it.
Like you're
Yes.
still putting in the work. Yeah, like you're
Right.
still putting in the work, but it fills in them blanks that develop in the course of you
Right.
doing your project, or in this case, writing a book. Whereas I think a lot of people's concerns in general is the fact that it's starting to lean toward a dependency
Yeah.
on AI to kind of do everything for the person. And it kind of takes away from the creativity or the ingenuity of a person because it's like now, you know it, Hugh. Technology just
Right.
continues to advance. We're probably, like you just said, we're going to have this conversation a year, 2 years from now, and they got a very
Right.
advanced AI, that's out there that can do even more than what it can do now. So I think that's what's the scary thing for people is the fact that as AI progresses and advances, how more people be more lenient to
Right.
be dependent on it. And it's going to be forcing people to kind of not only restructure their business, but kind of rethink the way they're going to go about marketing as far as now I got to take time
Right.
to
Right.
learn this. And unfortunately for some people, they may not have it like
You
that
got
to
to
have
make
the
it.
time
You
to
got to
escape
make
from
it.
what they're doing to concentrate on this and learn this. So I think that's what in general,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
speaking in general for people. To me, I'm embracing it. Again, I have my reservations here and there when it comes to AI, but I have utilized it personally and in different aspects of my business, and it has been beneficial. But for the next person, I could see where their concern will become, especially for those who are not really like tech savvy or really know how to like navigate a app interface and utilize all these different things that's
Yeah.
within that application. So I can understand where
You
they're
know,
coming
I have
from,
no sympathy for those
but I
people,
definitely
Zeus.
understand where
I have
you're
no
coming from as
sympathy.
well.
I am tough.
Man,
I
you're
tell you.
tough.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll
you is
I
tough,
am
man.
tough.
This guy
Yeah,
is tough.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, right? And this guy, we're on this very subject. He was like, "Man, I don't have time to learn this and da da da, this and this and this." But he's a guy that's into politics and he follows politics, and he could. I don't argue politics at all. Right? He can argue politics ins and outs and da da da. Da. He also follows sports, and he can he can read you chapter and verse of this guy's stats and this guy. You know what I mean? You know guys like that, but not just guys, men and women like that, people like that. And I'm like, dummy.
Mhm.
The same way you study your team and study politics, neither of which advance you. They're fun. I get it. I'm not mad at you for that. I get it. But neither of which advance you or make you money, right? It's the same way you should throw that energy into something that you can learn and advance you and do better for your family and something that's here. Don't get left behind. And he was like, well, if you put it like that, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what you got to do.
That's
You
that's a
and
really good point, Hugh. If you're For you guys out there, if you're looking to put yourself in better position so that people get more understanding of what you're trying to do, you have to stay with the times,
yeah,
you have to stay with the trends. It's very important, and you got to make time for that. And I think you made a good point of just everything we do in life, at some point you got to
right,
learn it. You're naturally not, again, there's people out there who are naturally gifted at like drawing or writing or the different types of art forms, right? But to really be good at your craft, it takes a lot of diligence on your part, dedication, a lot of learning, because it's always every type of art form that's out there. It's always progressing. There's always another thing you can learn and another thing you can learn. I know I could say that just for a quick example with music. Music continues to evolve. They got all kinds of different types of things you can utilize within your music production. So I know for me, I take music very seriously. It's a big component when it comes to Olympian. So I got to stay with the times to at least keep
Yeah.
myself
All
relevant.
right.
You know what I mean? Otherwise,
Then
you
otherwise
know
you're
what I mean? I
irrelevant.
think that's where people
Yeah.
lose sight on. It's just to keep
Yes.
yourself relevant. You know what I mean? You have to utilize these different things.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, if you're going to advance, these are the things that you got to do. You and I were talking before we started recording, and you know, we get up early in the morning, or we after our 9 to 5, we're up late at night, or you are on the weekends. I mean, it's Saturday afternoon right now. You know what I mean? And you know, here we are. I mean, this is the kind of thing you have to do.
I'm putting in
Yes.
work.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Putting
what
that
you got
work
to
in.
do.
So, hey, you guys out there, I know you probably was like, man, Hugh's a little rough, man, a little rough around the edges. I ain't like how he came at me like that. But take heed. This is a guy right there, like I said, I admire. This is a guy that knows what he's talking about. He puts in that work. You know, a lot of times we get the message gets lost in the translation because certain people you'll listen to certain people, but they really don't have anything to back up what they're saying. No disrespect to them, right? But they don't have anything going on, and they're just very quick to be critical. They're very quick to critique. But again, you come off as an expert, but you don't exactly, you're not doing anything with this supposed ability or talent. You just want to criticize on me when I'm trying to do things. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with talking with AI. Don't bash nobody neither if people are
Right.
utilizing AI. It's still a resource, right? No matter what you do in life, you're going to be utilizing something, right? That's going to help you along your journey and just make
Yeah.
you a better artist, a better writer, a better builder, a better producer. You know what I mean? So be grateful that we have these
And we
options.
do.
I remember
Right.
when we were kids, you know what I mean? Like when we were kids, it's like we really didn't have a whole lot to
Yeah.
be honest growing up as far as like what we got today for to be creative. You know what I mean? So the fact that we could skip 20, 25 years later and we have all these things within our,
In our hands.
you know,
In our hands. In this device. Yeah. In your
in
hand. In
our
your pocket.
hands,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At our disposal. I mean, you're cutting yourself short
Yeah.
if you're not going to go
Yeah.
ahead
And
and
I don't mean to
utilize these
sound
things.
tough on on people, but I mean that's what it is. Of
Oh,
course.
I
Of
had to bust your
course.
chops there, you. They'll be all
But
right
that's
out
what it
there.
is. Like, look at the people who are successful. You think Michael Jordan, a guy like that, laid back in the cut and watch other people, excel? No, he went above and
Yeah.
beyond every day, every night. When others are resting, he's learning. He's watching tape.
Mhm.
He's working out. He's practicing. Yeah, yeah, that's what you have to do.
And I think we can sum this whole thing up with just that. You guys, the main thing we were talking about here is about marketing, especially if you're going to do it on your own. Understand you got to put in the work. Me and Hugh both have a day job along with what we're doing on different projects that we're doing on the side. I treat my business as a second
Right,
job. I'm at it each and every day. I'm not saying I don't take breaks because, of course, we both have families. We got responsibilities to take care of, but we don't lose focus and lose sight on what we're trying to accomplish. We have something to offer. There is there's a level that we're trying to get to, and we're not going to allow anything to prohibit us
right.
from reaching that. You know what I mean? And accomplishing our goals. So for your viewers out there, I know it's tough. It's going to be tough. If it was if it was meant to be easy, more people be doing it. You know what I mean? So the journey's going to be rough, but at the same time, in the end, when you look back, right, and then your goals are being accomplished and you just start moving up, you can look back and smile, right? Like, man, I could see now why I put in this
Absolutely.
hard work. Look at the results
Zeus,
that I'm
crazy
getting from it.
story. A few days ago, I get these emails all the time. Hey, I saw your book and let me help you market it. So let me make videos for you. Let me make book trailers for you. So this one lady was very persistent. So I said, okay. And I sent her a link to one of the AI videos, the one that I shared with you. And I said, okay, can you make this? Excuse me. And she came back. She was like, no, I think I saw that. One of the big studios made that. That's like a Paramount or and at the end of the videos, I took the scene with my book off and my name, so it just didn't. She didn't know where it came from, and she goes, "Yeah, to do that would be $5,000 to $10,000, and that one is like a minute long, and even like 30 seconds, 20 seconds would be $5,000. All that stuff." So I said, "I made that." She was like, "No, you didn't." I said, "I made that.
Hmm.
I made that video, and it didn't cost anything remotely in the galaxy of $5,000." So, you know, so-called. So this is something that you can learn. It took me a year to learn how to do, but now I have a process, and but the thing is too, to keep up with it, my process might be obsolete when we talk this time next year. You know what I mean? Because there might be stuff that comes out that makes it easier to do. Not might, there inevitably will be. So I can't sit back and go, yeah, now I know how to, you know what I mean? I can't relax. I got to keep up.
Yeah,
I got to keep up. So as
good
these
point.
things come out, I know. And it's not that much work to keep up, because if you go on your phone and your algorithm is geared towards learning. Like if you go on your phone and scroll, you're in a doctor's office or you're waiting for you to pick up your kid at school or your kid practice. These are videos you can watch, and somebody is like, "Hey, Google has a new video maker," and usually when they come out with these things, they're free for a little while. So you jump right on them and you get to know them and you get to yeah, you get to use them and figure them out, and even make some content free. You make some content free, yeah. So
Uh,
that's why the algorithm will show, if your algorithm is geared towards learning this stuff, it'll show it to you. And when Nano Banana came out, that's the Google's one of Nano Banana is the name of Google's newest image maker, and now there's
yeah,
Nano Banana Pro. Nano
yeah,
Banana was free, and I used it for a while. Google VO, which is their filmmaker, I think it was free for a while. I think it was, and I used it. So you just got to be on top of it. Once you're on top of it, man, nobody can tell you nothing.
good point. So, for your viewers out there, I hope you took this in. Please don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just look at it as
Mhm.
a journey, right? You got all these tools at your disposal. Utilize them to the best fit. You got all the time in the world to learn. There's no time restraint. Don't rush yourself. Enjoy yourself in your process. To Hugh's point, have fun, you know, but also do yourself a favor and have that marketing plan. Create one. You can use AI to develop one.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it'll definitely
Yeah.
make it a lot easier for you. So, again, utilize these tools, have a marketing plan, create an outline for yourself to give you some kind of guidance and direction as far as exactly how you're trying to market yourself. And then just enjoy the journey, have fun, and make the most of every opportunity. So, Hugh, I appreciate you being on the
Anytime,
show
brother.
today. It's always a blast talking with you. I hope you took in what this man's insight was. Uh, Hugh, you provided a lot of great things, a lot of great perspectives that I hope the viewers took in. And again, do yourself a favor and get this man's books. Come on now. Stop acting
Okay.
like, you know what I mean? Like Hugh, can you let them know real quick
Sure.
where they can get your
They're
books?
on Amazon. Just look up my name, Hugh, Hugh, middle initial O, last name Smith, Hugh O. Smith. They're all over Amazon. Not
Not
Hugo.
Hugo.
If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see all the time. Starbucks mangles my name, but Hugh O. Smith. And then most of my socials are at Hugh O. Smith. I just started a new Instagram. Zeus, I'll send you the link. It's inside the Pleasure Party. My book,
Okay.
Pleasure Party, is got 2 books out, 3 books out now. Pleasure Party. The second one is called The Guest List. I think I have one right here. The Guest List. Yeah,
I mean,
and in between
there you go.
Pleasure Party and the Guest List, I wrote a book of short stories. So that box set, Pleasure Party, the After Party, the Guest List, is available on Amazon. And the third installment to the Pleasure Party series is due next spring. So, and then I'll have another book of short stories in between that. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books in all when it's all said and done in the Pleasure Party series.
Awesome. So do yourself a favor. Definitely check out comments below. The links are going to be provided on there. Do yourself a favor. Support local authors. You're not going to be disappointed with Hugh. I love his books. The best thing about his books, not just the story itself, but the dialogue that he puts on there. It just reminds me of so many conversations that I happen to just walk into, and I wish I didn't. You know what I mean? But but he has great dialogue in his books. You're not going to be disappointed. Please support local authors. You're not going to be disappointed. Hugh, again, thank you so much, my brother, for being on the show. Really appreciate your
Zeus,
insight.
anytime, my friend. Oh, by the way, viewers, in the next book in the Pleasure Party series, there is going to be a character named Zeus Cruz. So look out for that guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
he put me in the book. Yeah, now you know you got to go get it because I'm in it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I'm tickled pink about that.
no problem.
Appreciate that, Hugh. Um, so yeah, be on the lookout for that, guys. Again, you know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia. You see the power behind me. You know who it is. Come on now. Offering you, presenting you with another segment of Transition of the Arts. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll check you later.